can't believe I'm gonna have to redo all of this. Not long ago, we built a tiny home in a school bus and set out on the road guided by faith.
We traveled across Mexico, through Central America, always trusting the divine to show us the way.
Our journey brought us to Costa Rica, where we thought we would find land and create a healing center. But along the way, we realized something profound. The healing space we were seeking wasn't somewhere to find, but the space around us that we create with our daily lives. It's wherever we are. And now, for the first time, our home is on the water, from bus life to boat life, always following faith, always guided by Great Spirit. This is our journey, and this is the way it unfolds. Wow. It feels so much firmer. Especially compared to this one. This is the one that was leaking.
We had quite a lot of packages come in today, and one of those was the diverter. So he is down there right now installing it, and I'm gonna check to see if any water comes out of the through hole. There's water!
Okay, you guys, so I got the new diverter in. That's the new one. And it still didn't want to pull through, but I knew that I wasn't going to leak on my diverter, so I was willing to siphon, and I siphoned off of the hose right here until water started going through. We have like 30 gallons of fresh water, clean, new tank. I'm not, but the clean water come up and it came down into the pump, and once it got into the pump, I turned it on and it started going out just fine on its own. And now that it's staying primed, it should work every time. So it's in, the pump's in, and I'll show you. So right now I have the wiring just like in a test mode, and I have that, and it's mounted there. So we need to touch it, and then it grabs that water and it starts to flow. Okay, you guys. So we have some guests coming. So, and the boys are down here without electricity and lights and stuff. So we had to come up with a solution. I brought in, where is it? Oh, boop, right here. Boop, pops in the little wire, and it goes into here, where it splices and goes back this way to the boys' room, and down this way to the guest room. I gotta put some like wire stays on here. But let me show you what I've done. So we bought these little USB charging fans here, and they just have like a little button on them. It does light and it does fan. And then right behind it, I gotta clean all this up, so don't judge. I gotta clean up this. Or this is the power outlet, and it turns on and off, and it's got 2 regular plugs and 2 of these USB-C plugs. I put one of those in my room. I put one in the boys' room. And I also, here's the boys' room one. I've just got it here for now. I gotta do some wire management, but we got their fan in. And we're up. And we're down. And I put one in for us too. And then we have this fan. It's like just a regular old on-off fan. 12 volt, but the 12 volt fans are like $100. So we found the ones with the lights for like $30. It was so much better.
Like this? Ooh.
You went and got that crab.
Yeah.
It was hanging in the water on the line?
Yeah.
Last video we were having a lot of trouble with our water maker. Well, we've been having a lot of trouble with our water maker since the beginning. We have decided to just use like the big 5-gallon water jugs to fill our water tank for now, and to wait to keep working on the water maker because the parts are really expensive. We do have the option of trying to hook up the water maker that we found on board. The chances of that working are higher than the chances of the water maker that he's building working after we buy the expensive parts and then put them on there. It still may not work properly. So for now, we're abandoning this project and we'll come back to it at a different time. So this is how we're filling up water. We've got these 2 garrafones. Typically we have more of them but right now we're using 2, and he's just siphoning it into the water tank. Also, we are trying to leave today. It'll be the first time that we're going out of the river. We just want to go just a little ways, and then we're gonna wait for a couple friends there, and then we're gonna go a little ways more to an island and enjoy the weekend. And yeah, from there we're headed south. Well, we grounded. And then we kind of instinctually went full throttle reverse and then full throttle forward. And then that dug us in deeper. So we're here until the tide rises. We basically made it out of the anchorage we were in and around a couple corners and here. Okay, we did it. We made it. We anchored at a new anchorage. We left at low tide when the tide was starting to come back in. And then we got grounded. And as the tide was coming back in, we lifted up from there and we kept on moving just fine, no problem. But the tide coming in and us going against the current, really mess with our gas mileage and our speed. So we used a bit more gas than we were expecting to, but that's okay. We have a friend coming tomorrow, and he's gonna take us to get some gas. And hopefully that gets us most of the way to Miami. Right now we're in St. Mary's, and there's a cold front coming through bringing some rain. So we're hoping that after the rain passes, the wind becomes beautiful and we can maybe take it offshore for the first time. Still where we can see the shore, but offshore, we want to try to put the sails up. So we left St. Mary's yesterday and we came over to the island, motored the boat, and anchored last night, but we didn't end up liking where we were, so we moved the boat again this morning, re-anchored, and now we're here to check out the island. There's a place on the coast of Georgia where the forest meets the ocean and everything feels just a little more wild. Cumberland Island isn't the kind of place you drive through. You arrive by boat, and almost immediately the modern world disappears. No stores, no traffic, no crowds. Just dirt paths winding beneath massive oak trees covered in Spanish moss, empty beaches stretching for miles, and wild horses wandering freely like they own the island. And honestly, they kind of do. The island feels frozen in time. One moment you're walking through thick forest with palmettos and twisted branches overhead, and the next you stumble across the crumbling ruins of an old mansion slowly being reclaimed by nature. Everything here feels alive. You hear the wind constantly moving through the trees, the sound of waves in the distance, birds calling from somewhere deep in the marsh. Even the air feels different here, salty, heavy, and slow. What makes Cumberland special isn't just how beautiful it is, it's the feeling of it. It feels untouched, ancient, quiet in a way that most places aren't anymore. You can walk for hours without seeing another person, just driftwood, seashells, horse tracks in the sand, and the occasional reminder that nature still exists completely on its own terms. And maybe that's why people fall in love with the island. Not because there's so much to do, but because Cumberland reminds you what it feels like when there's nothing demanding your attention. Just ocean, wind, forest, silence. And for a little while, that feels like enough. Off our crew back in St. Mary's. Well, I guess it was technically this afternoon that we did that, but we left from the island this morning, and now we are on our way to Fernandina to get water,
gas, and then we're putting the sails up and heading down the intercoastal waterway.
Tomorrow morning the winds are looking really good, and the tide, the current speed in the ocean is not too fast, so we think that we may try to go out into the ocean tomorrow for the first time. Okay, so we didn't make it as far as we were planning on making it tonight. We left later than expected, but that's okay. So we got to Fernandina, and tomorrow in the morning we have to get gas and water, and then we're continuing on our way.
All stations, the United States Coast Guard is direct to Florida, the United States Coast Guard is direct to Florida, the Coast Guard broadcast concerning hazard to navigation in the city of St. Mary's Inlet. This is Town 157.
Okay, they're just reporting a hazard in the water. We just docked for the first time. We saw that there was a place to get gas and water over here, so boom, boom, bam, we did it. We parked. It did take us 2 go-arounds though. The first time we pulled in next to the dock, we were a little bit too far away. So Tzedek ran the boat around in a circle and came back around, and he pulled up. It's hard to film in the middle of all of this because there's only 2 of us, you know. But anyway, he pulled in, threw the rope a couple times, missed a couple times, but eventually he got it. And then he hopped out, and I threw him the stern line. Because we were running late this morning, we slept in a little too long, the plan has changed because we would be going against the tide, against the current, down the river to exit the inlet to get into the ocean to put our sails up. So instead we're going to go back up the river and exit because it's a closer inlet. And the wind, I think, is already on our side, so we're just gonna send it. That's the ocean over there.
About as fast as we were motoring, but with sails up.
Hi, it's morning. We went a long time last night. When the wind died, we had to use the motor, obviously. But we were only getting about 1 knot with the motor, if that. So we didn't go very far. We did not make it into the St. Johns River. We are currently sitting right outside the inlet. yeah, so about 5 o'clock this morning we dropped anchor here. And I got some sleep last night while Cedric was driving, and he got some sleep this morning. We've all been dealing with a little bit of seasickness. So the goal for this morning is to lift the anchor. So we're gonna go into the St. Johns River and get some more gas because we used a lot of gas.
Don't forget what's beneath the concrete. There's a wonderful world beneath the concrete. We can dance all night and break the concrete. Flowers will bloom and cover the streets. Don't forget what's beneath the concrete. It's coming through the cracks and through the concrete. We can dance all night and break the concrete. Flowers will bloom and cover the streets.
Hey you guys, so we are coming up on a bridge, and it's 65 feet clearance. We're unsure of our clearance, but we know it's under 65. So we're gonna pass through this, but it's gonna be a tight squeeze, and it's gonna feel a little weird to watch, you know, because you can't quite judge 65 feet up how close it is. That's the bridge that we need to pass under.
Today's a beautiful day. Why would anyone take that away? Can we stay? Let's just stay. It's a beautiful, wonderful day. We rode our bikes down broken streets. We chased the sun.
Alright, so we are making our way down the ICW and we decided to take a little break. We're gonna drop the anchor and we have to go get gas in the dinghy and maybe some food. I'm kind of hungry. Lunchtime.
Gotta make sure we don't go out into the road.
Yeah.
I didn't do too much. Okay, you guys, so we're here maybe about 10 nautical miles, give or take, south of Jacksonville. We entered the St. John River mouth and hopped back on the ICW, and we stopped right before this bridge here. Last night, we were able to sail out really far, and we were able to sail kind of towards land a little bit. And we were getting like maybe 2.5, 3 knots, I think, is what we were getting. But we were heading at basically like 45 degrees from the wind. So we were heading really upwind and still going 3 knots with our sails not fully trimmed correctly. We're still working on figuring out how to trim them correctly, how to make sure the mainsail goes all the way up and gets tight and tensioned. We're also not sure if the sails we have are actually meant for this boom and mast. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We're not really sure. But the head sail seemed to go out fine, and it seemed to do great. But it does seem to be kind of small. And I noticed that it also doesn't go from the bottom all the way to the top. It's kind of raised on the bottom, and it's got some room on the top. So I'm thinking maybe this furling sail and head sail came together, most likely, and they're not meant to be part of this boat. You just kind of bought it and put it up, is what I'm assuming. So we're gonna have to figure that out. As long as we can catch wind though, and we can sail, we will do so. But we got out pretty far, and then the wind kind of turned and it started heading straight at us, and we couldn't really turn into land anymore to catch it. And if we wanted to turn around, we were turning around too far, and kind of heading the opposite direction. So we cut on the motors. We have one motor that broke a I don't know what it's called, mounting bolt maybe, I don't know. It's what sets the trim, and it started kind of giving like violent wah wah wah, And so we were kind of dealing with that last night, but while out in the ocean and one motor down, so we were kind of like limping in, just doing maybe 1 knot. We were really, really gentle on the motor and just left it like at almost idle. And we like 1 kilometer an hour for a while until the wind gave way and the current slowed down, and then we started getting about 2.5 to 3 with the 1 engine just above idle. So we were still able to get there, but we motored for like 7 hours, I think, maybe, to get into the St. John River mouth. It was grueling.
We didn't even make it into the river because
yeah. Oh my goodness. We got into it was when we pulled into the St. John's River. It's a channel with big long rocks, man-made barriers. So it's like a funnel, and it funnels all of that water straight in a line that's coming out when the tide is lowering. So we were heading into it, and we got almost into it, and then we were not doing any, 0 knots. And so we realized, okay, we can't go in until the tide is rising up a little bit. So we instead hopped out of the mouth, went around the side, and anchored in a spot that I guess could be an anchorage. It wasn't marked.
Right outside of military.
It was right outside of a military base, actually. So we just anchored there for the night, and first thing in the morning we hopped in right when the tide shifted. I think we pulled in at 5 a.m. and then anchored, and then we left in the morning at what, 8:30?
I don't remember.
Maybe 8:30 in the morning, give or take, and we caught the high tide all the way in, so we were rocking a solid like 3.5-4 knots just at a soft 1 single motor, and the boat is living up to its name, Tortuga. And we were gonna change it, but now we're having second thoughts, because traveling with it we realized Tortuga is perfect. It's a super slow boat, but it's it'll go. We're so grateful for Conrad. Big shout out, man, for building the boat. Thank you so much, brother. We're enjoying every bit of it. One other thing that I did, we started cleaning the holes maybe a month ago, and they were really tough. We had a lot of growth on them, and some shells started to grow on them, barnacles too, but very light, only in like a couple spots. So I think we caught it fast enough, but I think that it has probably not seen a lot of cleaning in the last 6 months. It seems pretty behind. So I got in the dinghy today and scrubbed everything I could off, and I'm gonna have to do a lot more cleaning than what I've done, but most of everything is off of the holes minus the keels, and I think that we're gonna see an increase in speed, hopefully too.
The sun has set and the anchor is up, and we're officially on the way again.
Hey guys, so we're almost to St. Augustine now, riding the tide, going out the inlet. We're getting about 4.5 knots with just 1 engine barely puttering. And looks like we're gonna get there around 4 or 5 a.m. So I did pick out an anchorage. I'm hoping that we'll get a good spot, so we'll see.
It is 4:45 a.m. and we are anchored in St. Augustine. Good night. It's daytime. We have stayed the night in St. Augustine and decided to be here for a couple days to recharge our minds and our bodies and our spirits. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope that you learned something, because we sure did. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the button down below. It really helps the channel. Also leaving a comment and a thumbs up. So see you in the next one.